Good. There are no wrong questions. Go for it.
Any type of file that you can get on your computer, you can get it in blockchain technology.
Yes,
And that's what we call it.
that's correct. Other
What?
it's not divisible. Very, very good. Very, very good.
Yep.
Unique. Perfect. Others, you can just say, yeah, like the picture of the monkey.
Proof of ownership?
Proof of ownership. Perfect. Somebody else? Yeah, go for it.
Not the values.
It has a value associated. Good. Others?
Unique digital item.
Unique digital item. Perfect. We're touching on all the stuff that hopefully at the end of the presentation you guys will be familiar with. So let's start with the definition of what an NFT is. As said before, it doesn't have any decimals. So in the blockchain system, like when we talk about token, most of the token have decimal associated with that because it's the only way we can actually represent a fraction of the token. Because if we don't think about decimals, it's not possible to, for example, exchange 0.01 token because they don't have decimals. NFTs cannot be divisible, and they're unique. So when we create an NFTs, it will be made with 0 decimals. It has a supply of 1. So when you might have seen Bonk, we might have seen like all these different tokens. All these different tokens actually have a supply usually in the millions, in the billions. Like they need to be of value. So usually they cannot be always of a supply of 1. But the value proposition of NFTs, and it's in the name, non-fungible token, is that the supply should be 1, and every NFT should be unique to that address. There is no mint authority. As we said, every time you talk about NFTs, there shouldn't be any mint authority associated with it because that's the only way you can actually maintain always the supply of 1 that is in the value proposition. And then,
I have a question.
yes.
Again, I don't know what you're
Sorry?
What is the next one?
So, right. Let's do a step back. So when we talk about like tokens on Solana are represented as mint. Like the address, it's like the mint per se is just an address that of 32 characters. It's like a wallet. Like we can represent every account as a wallet itself. So when we start talking about tokens, we will need to add an additional account that is usually called the metadata. And what the metadata does is giving a name, an image to these associated addresses.
Right.
And these associated addresses make sure that pretty much like Explorer, so usually the place where you go look at what it is, and or in the wallet itself will be represented instead of like something unreadable, but something readable and understandable by all the consumer that actually owns that NFT, that token, and everything. So the mint authority is pretty much the only person that can mint more token. So since we said before that the supply could be anything, you don't have to have the supply fixed when you create the token. You can add more token after. So for example, I can start with 10,000 token at the start just because I want a really small supply, and then think about that. I want this big small supply at the start, but I'm gonna mint more token after I see all the community activation. So the mint authority is pretty much there. But in the case of non-fungible token, we want to make sure that all the supply is always just 1. So every time you create an NFT associated with it, we will revoke the mint authority so nobody else can create more of that token for that associated address. And as I said before, each NFT usually is represented, and we'll see later with Tony when he's going to talk about Core, that is our new standard for NFTs. Before, it was like lots of additional accounts that were needed, for example, the metadata, the master edition, and all what this additional account does is, yeah, they will make it readable, for example, the metadata. But when we talk about, for example, the master edition, and all the other additional accounts, they make sure that the user know that that NFT has all this stuff enforced on the smart contract level. So it means that if, for example, an account has a master edition associated with it, that is one of the type of account that are released with NFTs. All this stuff that we talked about, so zero decimal, supply of one, non-mint authority, will be enforced and nobody could change that, even if they wanted to. So these are the definition, but usually what we see when we talk about NFTs is exactly that. A picture of a monkey. So we're gonna see that there are limitless possibility with NFTs during this workshop, but most of the time it could just be a picture of a monkey. It doesn't need to have value. It doesn't need to have a function. It just needs to resemble something that people want, because at the end that's what value is. As I said, picture of a monkey, but there is so much more than this, and this is what I'm going to try to explain today. So before we start with the taxonomy of like what is an NFT, it's like what different types, what use case can be done, and then we're going to go a little bit more in details to talk about like the on-chain economy that is powered by all these NFTs. So at the core of the function of an NFTs, we can see that there are two different types of NFTs. The first one that is tied to physical. So yesterday when I talked about Metaplex, we made the example of Paxos, for example. Paxos is the perfect example of what an NFT tied to a physical item is. So the possibility of creating an on-chain double that resemble the physical item that we're actually storing with Paxos. So the idea of Paxos is you can send them your very, very rare whiskey, you can send their very, very wine, they will take care of it, they will pay insurance, so it's safe in their hands because they know what they're doing. At the same time, you will get back an NFT that is, first of all, a receipt of that item, but second of all, and most importantly, it makes it super, super easy for people to just start buying, trading, and selling that item. And in the moment you maybe like bought that NFT and you didn't store the spirit yourself, but you want to actually drink it, you can retrieve it on chain, send it to Paxos, and Paxos is going to send you back the bottle. So this is one of 6 use cases that we're going to see today for NFTs that are tied to physical items. And second of all, we have pure digital. As I said before, we saw a picture of a monkey. There is nothing physical about it, but it's something that people really care about. So usually, most of the people focus on the pure digital possibility of an NFTs, but what I'm really, really excited about is all the physical possibilities that are unlocked by these NFTs.
So did you say most NFTs now is trading as well?
It's not most. So I guess in a way, most of the last cycle, when not NFTs were new, but like when NFTs got very, very popular, were mostly a pure digital approach to that. I think in this cycle, so in the past couple of years, we've seen more of a need to get an intrinsic value to the value proposition of NFT itself, and so it's like the tide is switching to a more physical approach, to a more value approach to NFTs. Not that the digital part doesn't have any value, but a more tangible value that is tied for physical stuff. But yes.
When you have an NFT tied to like community access, right? So there's a few NFTs. If you have it, you get access to like different community events.
So
Would you bucket that?
put it into the pure digital. Yes.
It has like a physical presence kind of.
Exactly. But the NFT itself, it's purely digital. It's like
You push
yeah. I'm gonna talk later about like naturally I just in the example of the NFT, but later what we're going to see there are like different use cases that are for digital that it's not just a picture of picture. So I would like to start with like the more physical approach, just because I think it's one of the most important, one of the most exciting, because it's like such an innovative environment. And so, for example, we said before a physical collectible. Yesterday, Jonathan from IRLs showcased the possibility of really tying up the essence of a physical item. So in the case was artifact, and we were talking about shoes. So the intrinsic possibility of tying something that is very physical, something that is very valuable, to a digital twin that, first of all, makes sure that you have the ownership and that's real. Because one of the biggest problem in the streetwear ecosystem, like with all these shoes, maybe they are very valuable. Maybe they cost up to $10,000 because they are so rare. Having the possibility of certifying that item is actually real through an indelible asset fully on chain makes it really valuable, and it completely switches the value proposition of the physical item itself. So this is even where the physical collectible is even where I would put boxes in, because all this type of stuff that like go for so much money, we need a better way to authenticate that. Second of all, we have ticketing. Ticketing is one of the environment that is super predatory. There is so much hidden fees. You can exchange the ticket. You always need to make sure that the platform is compliant, because you never actually own the ticket itself that you bought. And it's a very strange thing that it's something that came up with like in the last couple of years. We're so used to buying something that we don't actually own. And this is the value proposition that I want to tie with NFTs in this occasion. Just because, yeah, you bought a ticket, but that ticket is actually owned by the platform itself. If they want to cut you off, if they want to revoke the ticket, they have all the possibility of all the instance to do so without you knowing about it. So, take for example, the NFT itself here is more like an ownership of access right. So by owning these NFTs, I know that I have the access right to go to this event, and nobody can take that off. And the more important thing is that this actually makes it super easy, first of all, to not get scammed. For example, when you go into the entrance of a venue, there are so many people trying to sell the ticket. But you will never be sure that that ticket is real and that ticket is not actually validated already till you go to the gate. I know so many people that got scammed by that. By having something that is verifiable on chain, something that is completely unique, it's a value proposition even for that, because it makes it super easy, first of all, to exchange tickets. Because you can go up in the venue, I can tap your phone, I can send you money, they will get my ticket in a click. The fees will be super cheap because it's just a transaction. Naturally, platform could add to make sure that the value proposition is better, so they could maybe tie royalties. But at the same time, all these fees are more healthy than what's the current alternative that we're living in. Then we have the loyalty.
Sorry, interrupting, but for ticketing, right? Let's say somebody mints another NFT that looks like a ticket and they sell me the fake NFT. How do I validate that this NFT I'm buying is the ticket that the company will accept them?
You're 100% right, and this is like a user experience stuff. But at the same time, it's like when you buy a ticket, that ticket will probably be into a collection that it's like very unique. And so if you know that the collection is genuine, you know that the NFT that is inside of that collection is genuine as well. So it's like, probably it's not going to be just, I give you my Phantom wallet, you send me money, I send you back the NFT. It's going to probably go through like a ticketing, the same ticketing platform that is issuing the ticket that verify, well, yeah, this ticket is valid because I have the collection, I know that I'm the creator of the collection, I know that this is real. If you want to exchange it, go do it. Yes.
Didn't Tomorrowland disease?
Yes.
They sold like 2024 they started. The celebrated tickets in 3 parts, and if you collected all 3 parts, you got the ticket, something like that.
Yes. There are so many new initiatives of people trying to do that. I'm very excited about like Tomorrowland and all these type of platforms that are more like Gen Z, we can say. So because it's difficult to teach your father about NFTs, about ownership, about everything. Naturally, you can make a seamless experience that doesn't feel like. But at the same time, as we said yesterday, if you feel like you're not using blockchain, what's the same value proposition of using blockchain itself? We need to teach people So it's such in infancy that I think it will be the future, and that's why I said at the start, I think NFTs will be the future of digital asset. But at the same time, I think we are such in an infancy, such niche still use cases that I'm excited about the future. But I completely agree. Tomorrowland exactly does that. I know like there's a lot of ticket companies that are spawning on right now to do exactly that. Because I think there is value. Like for example, in the ticketing, you could tie the royalties to both the venue, the creator, the singer. So they could like the possibility of like really creating something of value for all the party and like aligning the incentives to make sure that everybody that is participating in creating value in what you're selling are really interested in doing that. So 100% agree. Tomorrowland is a great example, and I'm very excited what the future will hold for the ticket. Like ticketing is one of my favorite use cases, to be honest. Then we have loyalty, and these two tie actually perfectly together, because there is something very niche about loyalty, and it's the fact that, for example, we saw mostly right now we saw the possibility of loyalty for a physical item, and mostly for like clothing brands. So what something is starting to do is like, yeah, I'm launching a new collection. It's very a new clothing collection. It's very hard to like get people to really care about my brand, because all the big brands are already there. Everything is just like they're completely not moving. And so how do I make people interested into something new? You can tie some incentives to that. So for example, so there is one collection that is called Bad Environment. What they actually did was, for all the people that bought the first part of merch, they will get a soul-bonded NFTs. Soul-bonded NFTs are NFTs that can't be traded. And so forever, you as a collection know that the first people that bought, the first people that believed in you when nobody even know what you were, are the owner of these NFTs. And so you can tie so many mechanics into that, because for example, it's like I just sold out another, my 10 collection just sold out. I sold out and made a lot of profit. Why don't I give back to the people that support me, but nobody cared about me? Maybe. Same time as like, the part of loyalty is that you know you're supporting without knowing them. It's like you know their wallet. You can target them and say, hey guys, you bought the first collection. Why don't you buy the second, the third one, and the third one? And I can do that by giving you soul-bonded, for example, discount on that. I'm gonna say you bought the first one, perfect. I know that you bought the first one because you have this card that attested that you bought the first one. So you can buy the second one at the discount. You go buy the third one at the discount, the third one at the discount. And so you tie this intrinsic value to really solve the cold starting problem of creating something new. Yeah, so Solana Mobile is the perfect example. Like, how do you sell 10,000 phone of a blockchain? You tie incentives into that. Source traceability it's a no-brainer. Like, how many people are really interested to, for example, for the food that they are eating, for everything that they do, to really know the travel that they take. Like, how do I know that this vine was cultivated here, was done in the same way it took, it went through like these different hoops to go to the shots? You can do that only for with source traceability. So, for example, by linking an NFTs with the bottle itself, you could scan it all the way to the journey and make sure that every transaction actually attests the fact that the source, it came from there, it went there, it went there, and it went there. So the source traceability, in my opinion, like now that everybody is very focused on green, rightfully so, is something that is really interesting to tie into an NFTs that can be really used to make sure that everything is correct. Certification and identity, I will talk about them like in the same tranche. Pretty much there is so much value. For example, you guys just got on NFTs. So now, me as Metaplex, I know that you guys were here at this moment in time, and I know that you guys participated in this and you learn about NFTs. So I know something more about you just participating in here today and just, I don't know, maybe go back to your own. I will know that you guys know something more about NFTs. So the next time I want to maybe ask questions to the people that were here, that are mostly like non-technical, they mostly don't know about what a blockchain is, but they know what an NFT. I can pretty much send them a message and say, hey guys, I'm doing some market research. I'm trying to get the framing right for people that are just like you. And how do I know? Because you guys have the NFT. Identity is the same stuff. Pretty much it's like something very, very cool that you could do is, for example, I know a company that is completely creating a way for you to submit exams, to submit like a piece of code, and it will automatically attest that you guys surpassed that piece of course, and it will give you a score based on like some of the data that it got when you attested that you surpassed the course. And so you can tie identity, you can create a point system, you can create a better university if we actually can focus on like ethics. And so pretty much in all the slides, what I'm really excited about is like all these incentives, all this like redistribution of how we do things. NFTs are not like intrinsically, they cannot do everything like this. It's more like the way that I think about NFTs is they are a tool to unlock a better future. So these are, we come back to like the fully physical, the fully digital possibility of NFTs. So the no-brainer is digital collectible native art. Native art, you can really make sure that the piece of art that first of all you're collecting, and second of all that you bought because maybe it was, it's speak to you that first of all it will never be, you actually own it, it will never be deteriorated, and it will always be available for everybody to look, even if you are the rightful owner to that.
Right.
Digital collectible are the same pretty much, where it's mostly probably focused on something that is, first of all, like an NFT collection, but it could be everything. Like, for example, Marvel tomorrow can come out and say, yeah, we have a new superhero, and or like we have a whole superhero, and you can like collect only on your wallet this specific collector item. And as we said before, this is the thing, you can tie so many incentives. Like for example, I could there is a new Spider-Man film, and I can tie up like a miniature. I can send to the wallet, and the cool thing that I can do is, for example, everybody that goes to see that new film will get a ticket for free, and I can know because I have a wallet that's certified that this digital collectible is mine, and that I actually bought before that.
Okay.
Another no-brainer, in my opinion, is the full gaming experience. Like the gaming world is another one that, in my opinion, will be completely disrupted in the next 10 years. Right now, we have CSGO skin that goes for thousands of dollars, and Valve, that is the creator of CSGO, can completely shut down your account and lose all the money, all the value of skins that you have in your account. It's like such a risky thing to do, and such a risky thing to have all these items there. And in my opinion, will instead of like, it will make it flourish, because now people really can invest, not can invest, but like can collect this type of skin and be sure that they will always own them. So the value will be even higher, because the risk of getting locked out, the risk of losing all this skin will be way lower. And one very, very cool thing that people can do is, once you really own, there is complete interoperability with all the games. So for example, I could buy a CSGO skin for like a gun or for like a knife, and I can use it like on different games. Like the game just need to think about it and say, yeah, I want to target the CSGO gamers. I know that they are very, very, they are fond of like collectibles. Why don't I make the possibility of you own a CSGO skin, go play my game, you will be able to have the same scheme in my game because I decided to work on this interoperability with all the things. And this is only done because, first of all, blockchain is democracy sometimes. Blockchain is open. And so pretty much everybody can access and everybody can see what I own. Last thing, and I think it's one of the other really, really exciting things, royalties. Like, how do you make sure that, first of all, the creator of the art, the creator of everything, all these digital artifacts, can get a better, can almost monetize their future. Like right now, people just sell the art. It will be displayed maybe in somebody else. It will be resold after maybe he died, or like even like in their own market. And the only way that the creator has to pricing everything is just to overcharge it at the start. The possibility of royalties create, first of all, a better incentive for the artist itself to grow in value the collection of all the items that they created, because there is an incentive to not just create value at the start, but there is an incentive to create the value forever. Because the more value you create for your pieces, the more value you create for yourself. Because every time it gets sold, it can get you get a piece of that. Every day, we might use occasionally that you see the real value into like adding some NFTs into that. It's a very difficult question. You can think about it for like a couple of minutes, but yeah.
All for the sake of social media profiles.
Good. There is a very good. You might have seen if you follow Solana in the latest period. It's like there is this boom of like meme coins that are tied to celebrities, and this is like it's in a way for you to monetize your presence, to monetize the attention, to monetize the mindshare that you have. It's actually very, very interesting because before it was like we give like participating in social media, growing your following. Yeah, you will get back like some money by doing sponsorship and by doing everything, but at the same time, it's like the attention that you create, it goes all to the centralized platform that actually hosts you. With this different type, you can actually really tokenize your attention, tokenize your mindshare, because the only way you can make the token go up, you can make the NFT go up, is by really, really be present, really have cool idea, and really monetize the attention that you can fulfill in that moment. So perfect use case for NFTs and token in general. Anybody has any other idea? Don't be shy. Yeah.
High luxury brand collection, like for example watches. I have not started about that. You can NFT your watch and track who owned it since like the beginning. So if Rolex sells it, they attach an NFT to it and everything. There's a lot of different complexity there because the one's just consignments as a physical item, but it would be cool to know that this Rolex was once owned by the Prince of England and then it ended up in your hand after like 10 loops. The Cooper's cut, right? And the value will appreciate this and that.
Yeah,
it's really cool to know.
No, it's super exciting, and we actually created like with our own with our latest digital asset standard. We actually create a plugin just to do that. So it's called the autograph plugin, pretty much, and it creates a digital signature of all the people, all the owner, or all the people that can sign that NFT. So imagine this, for example. This watch was owned by Donald Trump, was owned by like Kobe Bryant. How do I certify that? It's because the wallet associated with that signed the NFT and said, yeah, I actually own that. And so you can pretty much see all the like the transfer between ends to end, who actually owned it before you, who is going to own, like it's even fun to just see who is going to own it after. Like after 10 switch, maybe you will go to the Prince of England. It's like you can flex to your friend and says, hey guys, the watch that I bought 10 years ago, look at this, now it's owned by the Prince of England. So there is like all this very, very cool niche stuff that people can, like at the end, the thing that a product needs to do is to make people care about its own product. So it's like all these different details that might appear like something that is useless might bootstrap the attention, might bootstrap the mindshare for your product inside.
There's a huge issue, I guess, of like a lot of fake products out there. So like I was now calling student, the work that I've actually was here, things like that, knowing whether it's a real model of other investor. So when you're putting something like an NFT in the bottom, though, I think the initial thing for someone who doesn't know anything about this would be like, what's the cost? If I wouldn't be running production, etc., and I would just, how do I get it on the bottom, and what would be the cost of it? So what is like the actual physical way that an NFT is placed on just called auction?
So it could be, so mostly might be like hardware. Like you could even do just software. So for example, but it might be difficult to verify the authenticity if you don't open the bottle, because for example, you can open the lid and have a QR code inside, and the QR code could certify that this was real.
But you don't want to open it.
Exactly, you don't want to open it. So probably the most of the cost of this thing would probably be hardware, because you probably need an NFC chip that when you scan it. But like
So like a physical chip.
yeah, probably you will need like the same thing that IRL did right now. You could
What does
probably.
it cost or something like that?
I'm not sure about the hardware. Yeah, they should be really cheap. Super cheap.
Yeah. So it's something that like physically a company.
They do it. Yeah.
They cost less than the bottle is a
Yeah. Yeah.
They're very cheap deals.
yeah.
It's like for this niche item that gets sold for a lot, it's probably negligible. Like the cost of creating an NFT is probably 50 cents, and you can have like the storage. Like you pay 50 cents to start, you have the storage for forever. The only other payment that you have is going to be like the transaction cost of like operating with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there is 1, 2, and 3 questions.
It's not a question. I just wanted to cover that every use case of an NFT. I think this is one of the use cases that has been really successful is the collab. So that's the proof of participation to prove that you actually attended this course, to prove that you actually went to this event. And there are people who are very religious of gathering all those collabs, and that's their collection along with some physical patches. It's like the same design as the digital version, but people are actually very religiously collecting all those items to show that they went to all those events as a group of participants.
Yeah, completely agree. As I said before, there is value for not just to know who participated, but there is value into getting people excited to participate in all the events because they want to collect them all.
Right.
So there are 2 questions and then I come back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a Web 2 coming to Web 3. It's like a Web 3 getting better. There have been so many cases of wallets getting drained and everything like that. It would be an amazing idea if there was a way for someone to salvon the NFTs that he has on his wallet. So even if he loses the ownership of the wallet, but still has the wallet, of course, he can show that, hey guys, I have the NFT. They can't steal it from me.
Yeah.
And okay, we have sold on NFTs, but there is no way, in my knowledge, to make an NFT sold bonds right now. Because, for example, I attended this event. I want that NFT to be sold bonds to my wallet. I don't want, in a case of a drain, to get lost. How do I do that?
So that's like, so first of all, it's possible to solve other NFTs, and probably I don't know if Tony is going to talk about that later, but in general, like we have lots of guide on our website on how to do that. But the very case of that is going to be more on like the user experience of like getting back, like once you own the wallet, it should be yours forever. Like, so we're missing, I think, the value proposition that it's missing there is missing the possibility of really owning the wallet forever in a safe way. And I think there are like some products that do that very, very well. For example, there are squads that is like multi-sig wallet. So pretty much it's safer because to send that each transaction, you need to reach a quorum of signature. So it doesn't just me signing the transaction to send the NFTs, but I need to reach thing. And one cool thing that they did is they tied the passkeys or like the iCloud key to the wallet itself. So even if you lose the wallet, even if you lose everything, you can always restore it, not with knowing that the words. That sometimes like it's okay. This is probably the only the safest way to store your thing because you are the only one that knows. But at the same time, it's like most DIR users that we're trying to onboard are people that just want to use the technology. They don't want to speculate on it, and so they don't have so much money on that. And so by tying, for example, the passkeys to tie up, for example, something like an iCloud, you can always restore your wallet in a very, very easy and friendly way. Later.
There's just a comment on what you were talking about. Olive oil also has a complicated supply chain, so it's hard to like determine like what single source. There's actually a brand. Are you from the US?
Then
Oh, okay. Well, I know it's like national in the US. They sell it and Target and Walmart. It's called have you seen it's like
No.
before? It's called hold on.
so they have that team trade.
Yeah, so literally on the side of the bottle.
So I told them.
No, that's actually not good. Sorry.
But there's like
Terra Delissa. Terra Delissa. They have a QR code on the bottle, and yeah, you can really just pick it up on the shelf, scan your phone. And
That's
it's
a
actually-
QR code.
What's tied to an NFT? It points to an NFT on chain.
So you don't have to conceal with your art. So you don't have to actually have an NFT in your account. It's come with.
No, yeah, it's just a QR code that points to the NFT on chain, or it tells you where the bottle was sourced from, the same source.
It's more like a snapshot of like the journey, and like because you don't have to own the NFT itself. If you, for example, for supply chain, you can just reference the fact that it's validated by blockchain, but you like the NFT itself. It's not owned by anyone but the company. It's just like a way to tie all the journey that they made with the bottle itself.
Then, yeah, this getting up in the actual like outers. So
Yeah, it's
I get the idea that with
yeah, it's mostly like
implementation because I think that's one of the big barriers on a lot of the companies have on how to
yeah.
well, they just understanding like how to physically do it.
The reality is you could create a super web 2 app that just uses blockchain. Like, it's like, at the end, it's like, blockchain is so open, it's transparent, everybody can access that everybody could create their own version of like the application to read this type of stuff. So I guess like once it becomes like more usable, we'll see application like UCAP, instead of just giving you the score of like the value of the nutritional value of the product itself, they will tie up this NFT itself and says, yeah, the item that you scan is like at this different value, but if you're interested about the journey, here's like a certified thing. So it's like one of the other exciting things is like it's not the application itself that needs to work on that. They can just plug in their technology into application that already does that very, very well.
For products, it's the same thing. You buy like a product jacket, and the inside of a tag.
Yes.
QR code. You scan it. It points to a T. It's also used like a real product.
Yes. Yes.
Why can't they just copy that?
Like that.
Listen, using hardware is the best way.
Yeah, Arbor would be the best. Like the Arbor would be the best and the most because you can't like. I don't want to say you can't copy hardware, but you like.
Yeah.
So if you do something that is like for everybody, it becomes a little bit more difficult. If you don't actually own the IP itself, but it's a starting point. Like I think it's food for thought for people that are more expert in the ecosystem, the supply chain management, how they can then figure out how to make it safe for everybody.
Yeah, that's all.
The best application for in that case, a real estate.
Yes.
Housing titles. In Greece is like a whole mess. They just digitized it. And, buying a house is just like the weirdest, hardest thing you can do. I wish there was a title on an NFT, like, okay, sell your house. I see you in the house, you have the wallet. boom, here's this money, give me your NFT, and that big hits.
But we had two cases in the US that they sold the license for the house, the keys, I don't know how they call it there, and they sold it as an NFT. I don't know how they legalized the thing, because it makes no sense for me. But for me, the biggest complication about housing itself would be tokenizing it. For example, you have a 12-store house. So why don't you do it like a 12 NFTs? Or you can make it 112 and whatever you want. Yeah, people can own a part of that and get paid for the rent that's actually being paid.
And I'm gonna add something else. You can call at that court. It makes it super easy. Because for example, like there are like I don't remember how they're specifically called, but like there are use cases where like like people buy an house and they can decide, for example, I'm gonna stay this week. It's like you have 1 week of cash, and you have like 1 week, a month to actually use that. And so the best way to do it would probably be to co-own it this way, because like it's an NFTs. We know that it's real. We know that you own a piece of it. So for example, the NFT itself can have like 52 NFTs, one for each week. You say, yeah, since I bought this timeshare, I can actually own that week of the thing, and nobody can steal it from it. Like there is no problem, there is no double booking, there is nothing. You can just do it. So thank you guys, because this is actually pretty, it's super interesting. Thank you guys for participating, because I think it makes it better for me, because I can learn from like all your different ideas. So sometimes I'm just like too focused into the space that like the vision is like just Web3-esque instead of like more Web2-esque. Instead, like thank you guys for participating, because it actually made it even more powerful. So thank you. Sorry.
I sometimes I'd say your comment about real estate having to split for this. I guess there's a lot more formats where you have like a tangible asset that you can't split, to like split it up for multiple ownership. Because I think there's some ideas that already started up there, but even like the luxury whiskey bottle or the whatever, when they're in these marketplaces to with one owner, you can actually split the ownership as well. There's investments of anything that's physical, including houses, but other things. You could also split ownership and say like I can't afford. And actually, there's sites that do that now. Like you can own like 1/1000th of a Banksy,
Yes.
artwork, or you can own the whiskey bottle. So it like democratizes in the fact that you want to be part of it, but at a smaller scale. So like there's just that.
Yeah, no, 100%. It democratizes the actual investment, like the investment aspect. Like there are so many things that are just made for investment, for store of value, but they're like such an high price that it's difficult to diversify your portfolio into real world assets, just because like the price point is so high, and most of the time will just be 60% of your wallet, 60% of your diversification, and for technical assets sometimes it's not the best way. So by having the possibility of fractionalizing the value of this item, you actually can own 2% of your portfolio into a watch, 3% of your portfolio into a whiskey, 4% of it. So I think it's very powerful that way. It becomes then a little bit more difficult on this. Like you need to really make sure that there are rules set in place. For example, when you want to liquidate that asset, because the problem with the fractional ownership is that first of all it can be governed by an DAO, but it's probably not the best way, because people just want to invest into that. They don't want to participate. They don't care about participating. They just want to invest them. But there is a way that there is a problem in when, like, if somebody wants to claim the asset itself, so if somebody wants to claim the watch, how do we make sure that there is a sell value without you having to buy the 100% of the supply? So there are like some limitations, but I'm really excited about like what the future will figure out for all this mechanism into like tying up with fractional real world assets.
Yeah.
Yes.
One last thing with the real estate. Dubai has a few startups that you can buy as a part of the real estate and invest, and then they will actually give the APY based on the rent. APY, like give the money back based on how much you own.
With you.
Yeah. So if they rent the place and they make 2,000 a month, you will get a fraction of that.
That's the years.
Yeah.
Cool.
Another thing, I was speaking to a project. They are organizing housing or rooms in Thailand. I think they have some sort of a regulation that they don't allow foreigners with a certain status to purchase housing over there. So using NFT as the vehicle, that's, I guess, is a loophole. They somehow made it work so that the foreigners are able to allocate money to buy the asset in Thailand that if like in a normal route, there are now people.
Yes. But the main, not problem, but like the main thing that needs to be feared is like the data. Because blockchain are fully transparent. Everybody can look at the data that is there. So it's like, we haven't figured out yet a good way to encrypt NFTs, I think, at scale. Just because it's, first of all, it's like difficult to make it in a fully decentralized way, because somebody would need to have the keys to decrypt your NFTs. So it's like, in a fully decentralized way, it's a little bit complicated, but I think we're getting there. We're getting there. But I think in general, like the data aspect is one of the limitations to it. And that's why we haven't seen yet good project, big project actually working on that. Cool. Thank you guys. Super interesting. But just go over the on-chain economy very, very fast. Pretty much, as on-chain economy, when we talk about on-chain economy, we talk about everything that represents cryptocurrency transactions and activity on blockchain. So most of the on-chain economy is tied up with digital assets, because yes, a lot of that is tied with fungible assets, so the normal tokens, because naturally they have a part of the market fit right now. Everybody loves to trade them. But in my opinion, what it will evolve in the future is like the on-chain economy will be fully represented just by non-fungible tokens. Just because this is like how many ideas we just come up with like in 20 minutes. It's amazing. All these ideas are like not like a single shot of value, are something that can create value over time. So I think in the future we'll see like a switch between the on-chain economy represented by fungible token mainly, to an on-chain economy represented by non-fungible token, and its value derived by the use cases that it will have. And use cases are usually something that like stay in time, they grow, they create more value over time. So I'm really excited about the on-chain economy too. So just to get you guys some number, we're really, really focused on the on-chain economy, and even if all these ideas that we come up with in this room are not on-chain yet, the transaction value that we process just as Metaplex that we create with our digital asset, 8.3 billion. Somebody could think that it's like a big number, but it's just the start. And that's why I'm so excited about the on-chain economy in general. Like with just 600 million digital asset, yeah, might be a lot. Like it's not a low number for sure, but it's, what is it? If somebody start tokenizing whiskeys, start tokenizing watches, start tokenizing engagement, monkeys, even just monkeys.
It's an AI.
Exactly. Like 600 million digital assets, what is it? It's nothing. It's still nothing. With just 960 million transactions up to date, we were able to create 8.3 billion of transaction value. So this is something I'm really excited about. Some of our partners are, for example, you might know Magic Eden and Tensor. These are the two main marketplaces on Solana. So they're mainly used at the moment for trading like JPEGs, so NFTs like monkey picture and stuff. But Magic Eden, for example, is starting a whole new idea of pretty much, yeah, NFTs are dead, but why don't we start plugging in assets like boxes into our own marketplace? So like the idea is the infrastructure is there. The legacy infrastructure could have the possibility of pretty much powering the marketplace of on-chain economy. And Magic Eden and Tensor that we think about right now is just a way to buy monkey picture, could become the next eBay, could become the next Amazon. just because when the on-chain economies, when the economy start being on-chain, all these legacy projects will really solve some problems. Same with Sharkify. Sharkify is a lending platform, so you can get back some money based on the value of your NFT. Imagine the possibility of like accessing instantly, like we tokenized whiskey, you can access instantly to 70% of the value of the whiskey. And it's completely democratized. It's like you can have me that, yeah, maybe I know about whiskey, I know that's value there, and I want to acquire that for a 70% discount, or just generate revenue of my park money. I'm not a bank. I'm not anybody. I can just supply my money and get like a different way of getting yield. And if it default, it's perfect. I'll get this rare whiskey for 70% of the cost. And then we have AI. We partnered with AI. We think that the whole agentic economy ties really, really well with this, because right now the agentic economy that we see on chain is mostly all the agents are focused on creating value to the creator. So on-chain economy is growing, 8.3 billion transaction value. In my opinion, we'll see an agent soon that will want to tap into all the value that is on the table to generate value to the creator. Got it. I put this slide just to reference some of the project, but we talked about it a lot already. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, guys. Hopefully you are now excited as I am about the digital asset economy and everything that we power at Metaplex. If you guys want, that's our the developer app website, so more developer focused, but in case you want to read more about Metaplex in general, you can just write metaplex.com and you will see what we do. And if you want to get in touch, send me your idea and everything. You can find me on Telegram at Leo on Sol, or you can find me on Twitter, Instagram. But after the call, now we'll probably have 5 minutes of break, so you can just come up to me and we can connect, so we can stream the videos further. Thank you, guys.
Right, quickly. Who's actually staying for the technical? Who's
Right. Is it going to be more for developer side?
Yeah, it's going to be developers like JavaScript
Do you
and
mind?
stuff.
I'm not that technical, but do you mind trying to sit?
You're welcome to stay. I'm just like wondering if you're staying, because obviously we are going well over time. So I'm just wondering if the typical group goes somewhere else, because other people don't want to use the carbon soon. It's already 20 to 1 over an hour late as it is.
Yeah, and John is amazing and explaining very, very technical concept to non-technical people. So if you don't have a technical background, don't worry. Tony will run you through how to use our technology to create something.
You'd be 5 minutes to find the next feature to see, and then we might have to like ponder somewhere else quickly.
Okay. Thank you. Hello.
Basically, influence your decision on how you want to build NFTs, and how you want to use your NFTs in the market ecosystem, basically. Does anyone here, obviously, you guys experience the Metaplex, you guys are new to first of all, we have the original, the standard, which was token metadata. Token metadata was started way back when, where the Solana needed a NFT protocol or a standard to actually launch NFTs and basically market on the Solana ecosystem and platform. So this was the original design build. I think it was built in the weekend originally by George. So George built Kennedy. Quite maybe built token metadata. But yeah, this was built. It was a bit of a fish cluttered at the time. It's shown its age now after about 3 years, and we have developed some more systems since. But this is tried and tested. If you go on to Magic Eden, for example, buy an NFT or use an NFT or have NFTs in your wallet, chances are it's a token metadata NFT. So I think we power, I think it's like 98% or 99% of NFTs on Solana. So if you have an NFT, it comes through us, basically. So that's a brief overview of token metadata. We'll come back to that in a second. We have the second one, which was designed called Bubblegum. This was designed to make NFTs at scale. The biggest problem with token metadata is to mint NFTs, it was expensive. So it cost 0.02 sol. So now, at the moment, that's what, 4 cents or 3 cents? No, sorry, $4, sorry, or $3 per NFT at the moment. Most of the time, that is obviously transferred to the minter, but it adds up. If projects want to mint their own NFTs, suddenly you can book like thousands of dollars worth of fees you need to do to storage to actually make NFTs. Addendum solves that by making a Merkle tree system. I'm not going to dive into Merkle trees because that's a whole new topic. Essentially, a Merkle tree is basically just think of it as a big storage block. It's cheap to make the storage block, and then you can basically put NFTs into the storage block very cheaply, basically for free actually. So you just pay for one block once. We can see here, if I check out this creating tree, we can sort of see some rough numbers here where do I say something? Sorry. Yeah. So the difference here is obviously if you want to mint 16,000 NFTs, you can create a tree here, and the tree value costs you 0.3 sol, which is ridiculously cheap for 16,000 NFTs. And obviously, this is mainly this is lifeline enterprise and big projects. I think is it PhotoFinish? UCC or Finish? Yeah. And Helium. We use it for hotspots.
Yeah.
The Helium obviously make hotspots. And Helium uses actually CFD, I believe, for minting out hotspots around. Minted 1,000 million NFTs, sorry, only 8 sol, which is ridiculously cheap compared to what it would be, which I think is probably about 200 sol if you try to call them more to try and do that. Recently last year, actually amounted now, so it's nearly a year old now, by like a couple of weeks, we developed Core, which took token metadata, took one down, sort of like merged the aliens or one, made like some Frankenstein type thing, and everything became easier for basically projects meeting NFTs to start with, really. So Core took the original system, which was token metadata, took all these accounts, stripped all the accounts out. A token metadata NFT you had to create, I think to believe at least 6 accounts. There was a mint account, there was a token, associated token account which holds the SPL token. There was the metadata account, there was the master edition account, there was the token record account in the space of PNFTs. So the Core basically just stripped it down. It's now a single account. It's like the developer experience now for Core is top notch. Let's take metadata, which I'll show you as code examples shortly.
Yeah,
To start working with our stuff, a lot of our stuff is part down into JS SDKs, which are really nice. We have something called Kenobi, which is also now ported over to Anza, which is the full code Dharma. So if you build any programs in Rust, for example, you can feed these into Kenobi, and it will spit out a JS SDK, which basically just simplifies everything for you, and allows you to start sending stuff on chain via our client wrapper called Ubi. Ubi, if you ever use Web3.js, is basically a wrapper around Web3.js 1.0. It basically simplifies a lot of the accounts as well. So when you feed stuff into Kenobi, we can set default accounts, we can set default PDAs, etc., etc. So where, for example, you might have to set in like 10 accounts for one transaction normally, this will simplify and auto insert accounts needed and like generate PDAs for you. So instead of these 10 accounts, maybe you really got passed in 2. For example, which I can show you the very dynamic. So let's have a quick look at some code. If anyone does want to go along, I probably wouldn't recommend that you can. My package.json will be somewhere. If anyone wants to do that, that will be my package.json to do, but well, what's this is fine. Quickly, I'll work through some stuff. So, first thing we need to do is we talked about is this wrap called Umi. So when I start a project, I just create one Umi instance, and then I just reuse the same thing over and over again. So that's basically what you want to be doing. So you'd import Umi, you would feed it a network. So this will obviously be your devnet, your mainnet URL. And then basically what you do is those Kenobi programs that got generated, you can feed into Umi. So here, like this MPL core program has been generated with with Kenobi, and now we can feed this into Umi itself, and that will generate and take all these helpers and insert these accounts for us that we don't need to worry about. Stuff like payer, for example, when you transaction. So it will automatically default to the key pair assigned to Umi. That's like one thing you have to do. And it's like token metadata PDA, which includes the wallet address. It will automatically calculate that PDA for you and insert that as well. So it simplifies a lot of stuff down. So we see here we've got an Umi instance here with core, dynamic token metadata for one example. Toolbox handles all the SPL token stuff, so we've got to wrap around a lot of the SPL stuff. DAS as well, which I'll touch on briefly, is the indexing system, which makes reading NFT data and asset data on Solana a lot easier. Don't know if anyone again try to use GPA accounts, but it's ridiculous. I think now if you try and do a GPA on token metadata, it takes like 5 minutes for a return. Well, it did at least 6 months ago, so that's when you bigger, some more accounts. But DAS is basically an index service. All the NFTs and assets get stored in a database, and each database so much faster. No, it's just standard. If you're using like Helios, Ripno, any of the normal NFTs, they will have a DAS endpoint, DAS function you can call, which I can touch on. So this is end-to-end proof. This is an end-to-end proof. I'll actually just touch on the stuff that people want to know. Then finally, as well, Umi has uploaders, which is quite good. So Umi download plugins with various websites and places like AWS. You can leave your details. In this case, I'm using Arweave. Arweave is the most popular place. Actually, no, it's not using Arweave. It's Irish updated. They're using their own layer 1 now. They've transitioned from Arweave to their own layer 1, so they're now Irish gateway. But normally I would upload to Arweave. That's like the most popular place. Isn't try storage for Solana. Sorry? Dora next, yeah. So here, Umi really plugs into wallet adapters really easily. So if you've got a UI, you can literally just feed it a wallet adapter.use. So this .use key pair here, I could swap out for quite happily. Umi.use the wallet adapter identity.
Yeah.
Also, I've got to install it actually. There's an extra package for wallet adapter identity. You literally do exactly the same as this. Literally, wallet adapter identity, pass in the wallet adapter, and then that's it. That's connected. Start sending transactions. Really easy. Quite nice areas. I'm not going to share my Caesar review. But basically, at the top here, I'm just like importing my wallet from a JSON file. Just so that you can read it, set some transactions for me, and then I've got some mainnet and devnet RPC URLs here, which are placed on the Metaplex Aura. So these obviously get fed in by my Umi instance here, and so tell it what network I want, what wallet I want, and they're obviously gonna, you can see that, we just feed it in there, and the wallet's being fed in by the secret key, by the key pair, and the nuclear. So
Do you have your own NFTs?
we now have our own RPC. It's a new product. It came out at well, it's been developed and announced the Breakpoint last year. So so it's basically an RPC service, and it's an indexer, but it's kind of going beyond that. So like the DAS service and the Aura indexing will come to multiple RPCs and operators like yourself, which you can spin up an Aura node. It's a whole completely new subject that we're not going to touch too much on, but like the idea is like DAS doesn't make any money for RPCs. It's just like dead weight. It's like they're indexing all this data. They don't get paid for it. So Aura was a way to like fix that. So now they can like have MPLX stake and MPLX retrieval costs. So it's a way of like it's a way of giving back to the indexers being able to like actually index this data without losing money. So that's what Aura is designed for. But yeah, it's a clearly dominant. So that's my going to be instance. So I'm going to be calling this throughout each of these different functions. First one we might as well talk about is Cricket Token. Cricket Token is actually pretty easy to talk about. Especially with Aura. Sorry, with Umi. Yeah, I don't know actually, but I tried that didn't work. I meant to do that.
Just first row. Yeah, no. Fix trouble. Okay, seems up on the right.
Oh!
Yes.
I did not. Okay, there we go.
It's great.
So, create a token. Really simple. I'm putting in this Umi instance that I created earlier. and feeding it my DevNet URL and my DevNet wallet. To create a token on Solana, you need to pass in a signer, so you need to generate a sign itself to create itself on the chain. So that's for that. With tokens, also need to have an associated token account. This is kind of like the extra weight of why we changed from token metadata to core, because we've actually ditched the token accounts down. That's like less things to pass in, less things to manage. But for SPL tokens and all the tokens you see with chain, like Trump or whatever, USDC for example, that's all just like standard SPL tokens like this is here. We have a really simple helper function called create fungible token, or create fungible here. And you literally pass in the mint signer, you give it a name, you give it the metadata URI, which I will update, which I'll upload in the NFT section. Now it's going to set URI. It doesn't have a royalty percentage because it's just token. And then we just set how much decimals that we want. So in this case, I'm sort of mimicking USDC by setting to 2 decimals. So that'd be like, you know, like $100 and then cents, for example. So that's where the 2 decimals come from. And then add an instruction to it. We need to create a token account if it's missing. So this is a great example of how Uli is actually putting this in detail for me. It's now knowing that because I'm not passing any mint or owner, it's defaulting to the wallet that's attached to Umi. So it's defaulting to me. So it's basically checking my wallet saying, like, if this is missing, it's going to create it for me. So there's like less details that I pass in. So all I'm passing in is just the mint, and it's going to calculate the PDA for me. It's going to calculate what the address is, and then create the token it's missing, create token account. And then finally, on the next part, you can see here we're just adding a mint function. Then we're again in the mint, it's passing in the UI. This time we are going to pass in the mint, the amount, and then the token account that I generated above actually, which is here. And that should basically create a token on chain for us. On there, if any luck, I'm going to name this. This will be now, let's call it AthensDAOx. Run that. Plot through the chain, DevNet. Then tips, each soul scan, pop that in. Sure, give it any luck. Have nothing. Is soul scan still spinning?
Are you on them?
I am, but soul scan DevNet's never worked, does it? One thing, I love soul scan, but DevNet actually work all the time. Transaction not found was on DevNet. That was on DevNet. Or DevNet. So that's all I do. I'll fire that within the Solana Explorer.
Thanks for always all them. Us.
I'll fire it in it. It's actually not working. So it should be standard for a technical demonstration. Hi. Oh. So, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, so we can see that little bit of code there. Just went through and we see the logs. We'll see it go through all the transactions. Yeah, so there's our create transaction. There was our create if needed transaction. So it didn't need it, create it, so created it. And then finally at the bottom there's a to instruction where it's minted a bunch of tokens.
Finish this one up there.
That cost me. That would have been minus 10. It cost me 0.1. So yeah, so that's the fee. I can see that right. Yeah. So 0.1 sol just to mint and create a token online. Now there's like, and that doesn't matter how many tokens you mint either. So I can mint 1 token and that would be the price, but I can mint 1 billion tokens and it's the same price. So now I can start distributing these tokens as well or as needed. And these tokens obviously have multiple use cases, just from SBI, just from like making liquidity calls and setting up dexes to using them as like gated tokens to websites. Maybe you want to give the tokens out to people so they can only access certain content, so they have to have X amount of wallets. They can use a candy machine, which we can talk about in a sec, which basically allows people to buy NFTs, distribute the system. Yeah, so that's how to create a token. And that's just what, in theory, OS within the 50 lines of code, or maybe a bit more if we count in less than 100 lines, including the GUI instance that I created, just to create a token. Any questions about tokens? Cool. Yeah, so we've got core NFTs then quickly. I'll show you how to make a core NFT. Create. Oh, nice. Yeah. So believe it or not, that's how to create a core NFT. It's that's it. In its initial state, that's it. You need to give it a name, you need to give it a URI, where the metadata is, and that's it. So apart from like uploading the metadata or uploading the image somewhere, you've only got to fill in that at the bare minimum.
The mean that it is not on the chain.
Yeah, so there's on-chain and off-chain metadata depending on the standards you use. For token metadata and way well, so Solana is rent on Solana is pretty expensive in general. So like storing data and images is just not feasible. There is people that have done it, like Monkeys have done it recently. They went fully inscribed on chain. So inscription does mean data is on the chain.
So what?
Yeah, so Monkeys went through and uploaded all their images on the chain, which must have cost them a fortune. But there is ways around that, like SVGs. Don't know about SVGs at all, but obviously they're infinite scaling images. I think because Monkeys are just pixel blocks, they're probably using SVGs, making them incredibly small, and then basically afterwards you would then just increase the size and it's exactly the same image. So that's probably how Monkeys did it. But storing like a normal JPEG of like a photo is just incredible, really expensive. Like,
So the URL will be pointing to a URL, the JSON file.
yeah, so basically what normally happens is, let's take, I can do best examples probably in the that's how you have token metadata, you would token standards. So this would be the example of a, this would normally be on Arweave, or which is, you store it anywhere, as long as it's a valid JSON file. It can be in AWS, it can be in Arweave, it can be wherever. You can store it locally if you want, as long as your writing file doesn't die.
Yeah.
So this is the data which is stored, descriptions, names, external URLs like your website, and then this is how the original trade system worked. So it's all off-chain. So like monkeys or mandates would be like your hat, your head accessory is this, your weight or body accessory is this, and that's all reflected on Magic Eden and wallets. It's all indexed as well by all the indexers. So that's how that was done, and there was some properties here which some places use, some places don't. This is like the standard we set. People use some of it, some of it don't. Something which is still important is this, what should we call typage? That's the media category. Category is quite important. I think Magic Eden still uses this. It will display different types of NFTs depending on what the category states. So if it's a video NFT, it will actually display the video link in the animation URL and show it on chain. Yeah, so that's the key important.
And these standards are picked up by different user interfaces of collections that they would present your NFT. Great.
Yes. So this is basically the standard on Solana. This is what everyone's expecting. If anyone's basically integrating Metaplex NFTs, is expecting to see this.
Thing.
So this is like the off-chain data where stuff is. Especially the image. Like the image is one of the most important things. The name is technically on-chain as well. So there's like a backup for the name. But you can't store the image on chain to mention this is that too expensive. Yeah. Way too expensive. So the image would definitely be somewhere else. And always a good choice because obviously token blockchain storage system should be useful and there for ages. Yeah, so that's basically what the URI does. I'll show you how to upload these in a second. But we'll create the core NFT quickly in this code, just a short strike. We just grab the transaction printer. Just log all that. Okay. So my grab one side of that here. It's very grab base and go back here. But that's done. Lipstick. Right then.
These things to be like that.
Do you need a brighter?
No, because I'm in the corner.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
We presented that.
Definitely, yes. If anyone needs to see code, of course.
Yeah,
the way around.
It's better focused there and there's not in the phase.
Yeah, and that's the light should be up.
Okay.
Because the video won't see the code otherwise.
Okay. That's it, I love this.
That's perfect. That's how it goes.
Good job, mate.
You remember the bad lights? You swing for space, the chart.
Okay, alright.
So,
Yeah, so this is basically the idea of how to create a basic core asset to run this one. And they shrink, actually.
That goes under specific collection or?
I'll show you the collection in a second. This is literally just a raw asset, so like it's just a basic asset. We can do that, and we've got we actually got an explorer.
Yeah, sense like that big ChatGPT or Copilot, sorry. The other way.
What's the sign there's?
Oh,
Not there.
Oh yes, it's same thing with like the SPL tokens. You have to pass in the initial account key pair so they can write to it.
Yeah.
So the
And you
asset.
see the asset on your, you're doing.
This it?
Yeah, no, but you bring it. I thought the NFT will have a key as well.
That is the key.
Oh, the center key is the key.
Yeah, that becomes the key of the asset.
Interest.
Yeah, so in theory, you can actually grind these. So if you want NFTs to be like have the same 3 digits like Athens or ATH, I can grind out those addresses and pass the address in there. So I've got like a consistent theme for my NFT or consistent brand.
I see. Maybe public one.
Yeah, so like but they can make every NFT with yeah, they do that, don't they? Yeah, every address that's pumped in somewhere, doesn't it?
In the end.
Yeah. So that's exactly the same thing as
So
this,
the
yeah.
grind.
They grinded the address.
Jeez.
But by generating runners of picking, just making any random address. Yeah, if I take that asset, we should have my chest asset now. Yeah. And we can see here the basic details. And the update authority is myself. And there's my URI, which goes nowhere right now. So, to go one further than that, we can add into the book. Interesting idea is I've got a lovely image of duck, as you see in my NFT. So create with files. So it's a separate process. So you can actually use Umi just to upload files if you want to do with. You don't have to use it just to make NFTs. It's got multifunctional purposes. So all we're doing here is we are picking up the image path from file. So the first part is this bit here. So we're picking up the image path, which is just a folder below, the image is duck, read of the file, then Umi expects a generic file content type, so this create generic file will convert this to the right object it needs to be to upload to the data type. And then finally, it's called a generic umi.uploader.upload. And what's great about that is no matter what plugin system or what you want to use, like if you put in the Arweave uploader, it's the same. If you put in the AWS uploader, it's the same. Basically, we've extracted away all the complexity and made it into one function that every uploader, which is cool. It's nice. So if I actually return that now, if I just break this out, let's do like that. It's TS then for a while.
Then this cost anything to upload?
Yeah. So it depends on the platform you use. So AWS, you're paying for the AWS storage. Arweave, you'll pay for their storage costs, and whoever's the middleman in between. So Iris will obviously charge their fee in between, which I think is like 30% extra. But it's not too bad. It's still pretty cheap. I think like what is it? 1 megabyte is still like under $1. So it's like Arweave's like the least of your worries for storage. Upload it to the least of your worries. It's more the on-chain costs, the bigger part. So if I run that now, you'll see hopefully that's uploads to Arweave. Or in this case, I've got to replace it. They upload their plugin into gateway.iris. And then from that point, I then need to make the metadata for the core asset in this case. So if I take my shout out, we'll see here we've got the metadata. So this is our off-chain data we were talking about. I'll just simplify it a little bit just to be quick. We've got the name, we've got the image URI, we've got the description of our asset, and I've put in a test website as well. But going on from that, we need to include a few more things like the properties of the category and stuff as well. But for this example, this is just this enough.
Have you exported the type of metadata from UX?
So type.
Yeah,
so there is a type.
Yeah, like a metadata standards, like using TypeScript or?
Yeah, so you can do let's do metadata type. You can obviously do there's a JSON metadata type there that you can
That's
import.
cool, okay.
Yes,
So
you can import that.
Yeah.
But I'm just not doing that because
I like types. So.
yeah, that's why I'm a TypeScript guy, but I think you can do this.
So you do have it exported, I can.
Yeah, for this example, I'm just making a generic object.
Yeah.
So upload JSON itself, like this as you can see here, uploader. So upload JSON will take any object. As long as it's a JSON object or it'll upload
It's not going to be read by the teacher.
Yeah, it's to a string object and then just upload it to whatever storage provider you've decided. So now, if I do that, I should end up with an image URI, and that image URI should get inserted into the metadata, and then we should have a metadata URI, and then we're nearly there. So if I run that, cool. So we now should have the metadata at this second gateway URI. How do we do? Nice. I pre-print that. You can see that I've got a duck, we've got our image, which will link to our duck image and website. And then from that point onwards, we can literally take our create function. We copy that, and we dump that into create for files. We were on a tin called create. Cool. Asset signer, we've got one yet, so we'll just make the signer. Asset signer, generating signer for Umi. The thing takes Umi, that's that. And obviously now we can change this to by duck underscore to cartoons. And then we can feed it our URI that we just made from the replace. So what the replace is doing is gives our Iris takes their gateway from our week to their own blockchain app, and all I'm doing is I'm taking the old URI initial Z and just replacing it with their new address. So, but that will be fixed in the update. So if we just call the replace function there to the URI, and that should now give us a Metaplex core NFT on chain. If we go back to core.com here, store on, I start addressing, add to my collection of rubbish. There's my duck. What? It's as simple as that. Quick question. Yep.
Why not just have a function that says, here's my file, picture, here's my metadata, do the thing. I mean, why do you have to take upload this, upload this? Just
You might have the data somewhere already. Like you might have like taken all your metadata and placed it to AWS. You might have just done a bulk upload somewhere.
yeah, no, I get, but I'll read in another core functionality. Just all of the steps you need with code. You just say create my token, path, metadata.
Yep, we can try that.
You know, pretty much the function you just made, we're supported. Interpret a Yumi, you just say Yumi that create NFT.
I suppose it is modular, actually it takes all the different programs. So we probably wouldn't get to do that. It's like
That's it, because you're already kind of like in your Yumi definition, you're already putting all the details, like what's your upload or what's your thing, what's your, you know. So technically your Yumi instance has everything you need to just create an NFT. So you just have a create NFT function that traps all of these functions and
I can definitely forward that to,
you know, I mean, like that would be something.
Yeah, let's talk about that. If we get to a Telegram, give me some feedback, and then I can take it back to the team.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
open
Or
source.
is
I
that-
mean, I could coach.
Yeah, so we'll put a BIP in, like a mix. So what we have in Metaplex is really cool. So we have the BIP process. So everything we do is kind of like based on community. So if you guys like find some functionality, you want to add some functionality, or you propose a BIP to us, and then the community DAO will actually vote on if that's a good idea or how it should be implemented, and then we will just work like animals and implement it.
So can we not just focus in VR?
Well, no, because it needs to be like voted on really.
I guess
So the idea is like it's a community based. So we'll do like the initial legwork and do like what we think should be done, and then it becomes like if there's a community contribution that we have to be voted on.
That's
It's not through us.
yeah.
So yeah, So you
You guys a little
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so yeah, definitely you can definitely put forward a mix. I think we can do a big up mix.
well,
Maybe it's programs. But yeah, we can talk about it. But yeah, so yeah, that's the duck.
How much it cost you?
So that cost me, instead of 0.02 sol, right, this in. So the token metadata cost me, what's that? 0.02. That would have cost me roughly,
and
or pretty close to that.
yeah, sure.
So it's like nearly 10 times cheaper.
so technically all this tree thing under the hood, you guys do code.
Right.
So wait, what?
The tree that you said.
Oh no, that's bubblegum. So bubblegum is so it's three different standards. You have token metadata, which is the original one, which is like the more costly one now, but the most supported. We have bubblegum, which is the enterprise type thing with the mass minting in the trees. So you basically just pay for your tree, and then every NFT you insert is free. You pay for the whole tree up front.
Ah, yes.
It's more for like businesses. So like if Starbucks wants to like make loyalty cards, they're gonna make like a billion tree, pay for it up front, and then every user has a free NFT then. Because there's no cost to actually mint the NFT. Like, yeah. So
And core, say core was kind of combination of.
yes, of course, obviously cheaper than token metadata. Not as cheap as bubblegum, but Core also has more functionality than both.
Yeah, yes.
Because Core has this cool function called the plugin system. So each NFT collection can have a what it's called. That's bubblegum. Sorry. Then about that's bubblegum. That's Core. So Core comes with these really cool features. So talking about NFTs, just had like, let's do one thing. You made the NFT and it did a few things that were built into the program, and that was it. With Core, we have these plugins. So these are actually like items, and I'll check on it because we've got a big list of these are actually items that can be added to NFTs. So they can like modify functionality and behaviors of NFTs and how they're delegated and what data is on chain, for example. So first we've got a transfer delegate. So transfer delegate is basically something like what a market plate would use for an escrow-less So when I want to sell my NFT to Machine, for example, I would come to Machine, I would hit the sell, and they would apply a transfer delegate to my NFT. The transfer delegate allows the person who's delegated to transfer the NFT at any point. And also you combine that with the freeze delegate. So now the NFT is frozen in my wallet, and then they would release the freeze, and then they would transfer the NFT away, and it's dropped out. Burn delegate, same thing. It means whoever's delegated can burn the NFT at any point. This is pretty cool for stuff like games. So like if my character is fighting your character and your character kills mine, but like I'm not there, it can just burn my NFT and my NFT there, sort of thing. Royalties, we'll be happy to know if anyone has tried royalties with token metadata. It was a pain in the butt to update 10,000 NFT to royalties. And you obviously lucky for that. Now, royalties to be set on the collection only, and it's widespread. So your 10,000 NFTs will have the same royalty as the collection itself. So yeah, that's a big function of Core, is that the plugins actually are inherited by the children to the assets in this case. So if there's a royalty plugin on the collection, that is inherited by every asset underneath it. And the best thing as well is if you want to change the royalty of a single asset, all you got to do is add the royalties to that single asset. So if you've got like a common, like a set of like commons, rares, ultra rares, type of NFTs in your collection, let's say you don't really care about the commons, you can just leave them blanket under the collection royalty. Let's say you want to make the royalty for a super rare 10%, you can just add the royalty plugin to that one asset, and then it will overwrite.
Wow.
That please.
Okay.
It will overwrite on sale the what the collection royalty would be. That makes sense. Cool thing.
Good segue to show us collections should be out there.
What's that?
A good segue to show us the collection.
Yeah, so collections are basically the same as NFTs, which are the same as assets, but they're now in a different class. I don't know if anyone's worked with token metadata collections, but they were super annoying in the fact that they appeared in your wallet. If you burnt the collection NFT by mistake, you break your collection. It's a bit of a pain to try and fix everything, and the non-devs would get a bit stuck, and we'd have to go help them out. Thankfully now, core collections no longer appear in the wallet, so they can't be burnt, so nothing breaks anymore, which is wonderful for us. Creating a collection is exactly the same as creating a core asset. Process is exactly the same with your files. You can see here, we've literally got the same thing. We've got the collection, we've got the name and the URI again. They sort of minted to me because I'm the Ubi servant. You go through the same process of uploading your image, your collection image first. You then upload the collection metadata, and you put your URI in where it would be. To add an asset to the collection, all you do is exactly the same process as before, but you're just going to pass the collection. And it's as simple as that. So that would, if I ran this would create the collection first, and it's literally going to create the asset into that collection. And
What do you put the loyalties?
The royalties. Okay, so the royalties, that's a really great question. I can literally just pass in here plugins. I can pass in an array. I've got a type and good old TypeScript and JS. Which will use with my collection, my plugins I can use. So I can come to royalties. Base setting, there's a few more bits of data I need in here, such as I think it's basis points, maybe a percentage. So that would be 5%. I need a role set, which I believe is a none. What might I set that up? Rule set is a rule set, is a rule set, is a base rule set. Like a positive fund, looks like. Capital. Oh yeah, it's type. Yeah, it's type. Section realtor side. This example, and the final thing I'm missing is creators. So it would normally be you'd find the creator array, and the royalty would be split between the number of creators.
Wow.
So the creators array. In this case, I'm just going to set it blank because it takes time. So in there, so if you've got like a project and like five years of work on it, you can put 5 creators in there. Actually, I might show you.
This is wallet.
This is a wallet and a share. It says an address. So put it here. Let's just do that for now. And then no, share, or is it percentage? Percentage. And then you set the percentage. So in this case, I might go on let's say I want this person to have 10%. I would then add the next person to the array.
So technically, every time you sell anything under the collection, automatically each wallet will get percentage of the
Of the sale. Yeah.
Let's see the tell.
Yes. Much easier than token metadata was. Okay, so now if this asset that I sold underneath it, public key 1 would get 10%, and now if I put that to 90%.
For every sale and
For every sale, yeah, so basically it takes 5% of the sale price, so if you're doing one sale, it'll generate 0.5 royalty price, and then that 0.5 will then be split percentagely across these people in the creators array. So yeah, you can just start making money after you sell your collection.
But
The good thing about this is because NFTs aren't just profile picture based. You know, if you say about something we talked about real estate, if you're a house, it's a royalty for it.
yeah,
You're suddenly talking some good money there. maybe you're the builder.
They do.
you tokenize your NFT as a builder, maybe you want to make like 0.1% on the sale. If it's sold, you get a little bit of money for building it.
And that's also in terms of the plugins, how we autograph stuff you'd added in the flash.
Yeah, so in this one, the autograph plugin is a little bit different because you would add that at the time of the first autograph, because you'd fill it out blank to start with.
Yeah.
So in the same way here, we've got the plugin array. I could just, what's that end? It ends there, so I could add another plugin afterwards. Type, so on a Mac. So we can do the, demograph plugin.
Down in?
Maybe I'm using an older version. I think I'm using an older version. Not what you've updated, but basically the autograph plugin would be in there, we add it afterwards. It may not be available on initial mint because it would be empty. You essentially create it like this, or add it like this, and then you call the program to like add the signature each time. To basically create a vector, which a vector is an array basically in the Rust. So that's that. That's collections, and then we're talking about the plugins. Yeah, so the plugins we've got. There's these burn delegates, permanent. So the transfers, freeze, and burn, the top three, they will like reset after a transfer happens to stop like abuse. But there's also like these permanent freeze, delegates, and burns, which are also they don't resell after transfer. So these can be used for like gaming and like further. These can only be applied at creation, so they can't be abused. The transfer, freeze, and burn have to be added by the signed by the owner of that. So, like for example, if I post back to Eden, I'm signing the transaction to say I'm selling my NFT, therefore I'm giving permission for these plugins to be added. And then, obviously, after the transfer happens, the authorities reset, and Eden can no longer take my NFT because the transfer. There's some cool other plugins in here, like the attribute plugin. So the attribute plugin takes our attributes that we wait a second. So when we have the off-chain traits, like the hats and the clothes and the different values and stuff that the weights are showing, we hang up all that on-chain via the attribute plugin. So you can start doing key value pairs via an array. Needs to get added to the plugin itself, to the asset itself. Happy to announce actually that Backpack has finally started. It's the first way to start using this. I've got a great example here. So, it's just a little preview I made. So that's where I had this break made backwards. What's that?
There was something on the left.
No, I had an open image somewhere. I might have to find it again for pictures. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, there it is. Yeah, so you can see here now. So these are the off-chain attributes from the off-chain JSON that we uploaded originally to the index one. These ones links, and now core on-chain attributes. So now people like gamers and people who want to see changes on their assets in real time, for example, can start to see these values in their wallets and be able to reference them. Hopefully, you can like actually be in TensorFlow stuff very soon. Because for gaming and stuff, this is very important.
Technically, it's pointing to a JSON file that you're hosting yourself.
No, the on-chain one, no. The attributes are on-chain.
The attributes are insane.
Yeah, so these ones here, these orange ones, these are the ones stored on-chain in that attribute plugin.
At all.
So you got to pay for it, obviously.
You have to pay a bit.
No. You only got to pay for just the storage. So like, if I change this to like a different buffer,
Really?
I won't have to like pay again, really, because it's the same space.
What? But the transactional update?
It's just a normal standard. No, there's no transactional updating. It's just a normal transaction standard fee, where it's 0.00005, whatever it is. That base fee that's like there's no like charge to update. You do this update as you will. So yeah, if you've got a gaming contract, as mentioned, like we have a fight, and let's say your character wins, I just update the fact that I've lost health, and that reflects now in like Backpack and like on-chain. Because these can't be read by progress. So like smart contracts can't read these. They can't see these at all. I don't really need these for my. I don't need these for my game. I don't really care if I've got a green hat on or whatever. Or I might do eventually, but yeah. But I do care that the program will read how much health I have or how much defense I have. So then the program could use this for math and calculate values. These have no calculation values that are important to the game itself. But this can be done for anything. So you can experience maybe putting stuff on chains of like dates, or when was my NFT minted, or when is this? Let's say you've got a program which says I have access. This NFT used to be access to this website gated to X date. I can put the date on chain, and now the program won't work if the date is passed. So there's a lot of things we can do now with these attributes. So that now these programs can access.
Who can update that use?
The authority of the NFT.
Or
Yeah, or we can delegate authority, so which is something we can talk about. We can delegate who can update stuff. So maybe what I would do is I would make my game, my NFT, and I would say, right, my game program is a delegate to my collection. So my program can now update everything in the collection.
busy.
It's like a second authority, as it would be.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but the wallet of the player should not be something like
No, they won't be able to.
Yeah.
The owner can't, unless they're delegated.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't want like, as the player, I wouldn't be able to update this.
you shouldn't because
No.
you can
Only the project, only the project owner and like the delegated program would be able to update these.
yeah, that's okay.
So yeah, we're very excited about this to see where it goes this year. We're just making hopefully Splendor Gaming more popular and like more use cases popular for like gated transactions. And, yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. You can put like hotel bookings and stuff. There's so much you can do with this. Like you go on the chain. So there, that's that. That's the attributes plugin. There's a bunch. I'm not going to go through everything because there's obviously not too much time here. Probably it's called one. What's it? Up down. You let it up down. You will actually check the metadata and check the time page. Cool. Yeah. So there's some extra plugins here, like Ad Blocker plugin, which you basically when you add it, it stops people adding any more plugins. But little things like that, more some technical stuff. Autograph plugin is a pretty cool one. Something we're building with this actually now is essentially it allows people to sign NFTs. So if I make if I put an NFT, let's say I meet Tony, and be like, I totally sign my NFT, and it's like a digital autograph. So you'll basically say like this address is signed with NFT and it's verified. So there's a lot of use cases for that. Like we're actually going to build a deals list, then we're going to build an event tracker. So basically how it's going to work is I made a program yesterday where I can assign, I can create an it's called a photographer. So basically it's going to be like an event. So that's going to have its own public key. So this event, AthensDAO will have this key. And then it's got like an authority and some sub-authorities of who is allowed to authorize the signing of the event. So like Dean would be authorized, Chris would be authorized, Taki would be authorized. So you have to go visit them, and they'll be like, yes, this person is at this event, or we'll find a way to do it with NFC chips or something like that. But basically we try not to game it. And so basically that will basically say this NFT has appeared at Mountain DAO or AthensDAO or Thailand DAO, Island DAO. And then they can keep track of what NFTs have been where, and they can, maybe use reward systems or stuff like that. So
Yeah, I think the skipping idea was telling you. People can claim they played the game, but if you can have a sign to play the game, so you can go to the owner and say, hey, I know I saved the game, you signed it for me, and now you have to verify.
Well, it could be good for you, for example, your escape rooms, if you go back to the attributes plugin. Maybe you, as a user, I come to your establishment and or one of the venues and I get one NFT per venue. So let's say I'm at venue 1. It takes me, I completed it, but it's taking me 14 minutes, and that's now an attribute. I come the next time, maybe I've read it.
Yeah.
I can keep track of my time, so like, or how many, or you can have like one for each. Maybe you can say like, visit 10 events, and then let's calculate your total time for 10 events against other teams, something like that.
What's it? Ranking, it was
Yeah, and you can store that all on the NFT on chain.
Nice.
Which is pretty cool. But there's so many, I think we're all coming out. Well, it's really nearly 2 o'clock. I we got football probably cut it there, unless we'll merge with more specific questions. So I can talk about this all day. So if there's like questions you guys have, or the use cases you can think of, like let's talk about those quickly. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep track of random stuff. We've got stuff like onchain, which is the energy distribution system as well. We went about projects. Yeah, does anyone have any questions for any of that, or use cases that you want to throw out?
Like sort of my use case, definitely I need to chat build.
Yeah, we can get on the chat, yeah.
See how we can implement it. Because my biggest concern is, escaping players are not crypto signed. It's gonna have like wallets for them. Like
Yep.
signing with Gmail, you're gonna have like
Yep.
non-custodial.
I'm custodial, yeah.
Yeah, wallets. I'm gonna own with wallets because I can abstract that from them.
Yep.
But then, force me now have to pay a lot every time it means something. Like how we can keep it back.
So yeah, you've got like, if you want to manage myths, you could look at bubblegum. So you could pay upfront for a big tree.
Yeah, that's
So then, but then you get less functionality because you've already got stuff like create, transfer. There's not much in the way of delegations or plugins or bubblegum. It's fine to me. So yeah, so cores like generally like most recommend if we go for at the moment, just look at most functionality and use cases and the future use cases as well. So we're gonna keep making plugins.
Yeah.
And like if anyone's got plugin ideas from us, if they're good ideas, we'll make them. But like really not. Yeah, we want to push this as far as possible. But if there's any functionality missing that you think would be good, you throw it our way. We'll chat with you guys and see if we can implement it if we can.
That's like the biggest thing I see other startups, like how do you even start with Web 2 to Web 3 when you have to pay for everything they do?
Yeah.
Begin and probably have to pay for everything happens. Like, when you start having that.
Yeah, the Web 3 to Web 3 transition or abstraction is generally all on the Web 2 company.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to be paying your costs. If you are making Web 3, obviously there's ways we can do it. Like when you, I say you're looking at 10,000 projects, like profile picture project or something like that, I can actually shift that cost to the user. The user pays for the storage cost, the initial storage cost. So I actually get a free minting experience as a company. Okay, so let's say like all of you guys there would buy my NFTs, I would put the cost on you. But the cost is so small that you guys really won't care. But it's when I've got like 10,000 NFTs, that adds up. That's when that adds up. When you split it between 10,000 people, it's very small. So that's kind of like that's what basically what Cannon Machine does. Cannon Machine just takes a bunch of NFT data, you shove it all in, and then you make a website with a mint one and the price. There's some extra stuff as well, like the plugins, you have like guard and like conditions and stuff. And I come to your website, I pay my 1 Sol, I get a random NFT. That's like the most popular distribution method on some of the NFTs is Cannon Machine, Taiwan products. But yeah, shifts all the cost to the user, which is nice. But it's yourself actually, so actually it's usually I want users to pay to augment the users. Yeah, we'll have to work something out. I think it's probably something we can do somewhere, or we can like work something out in the way like to try and spread it somewhere else in payments. It's in like shift it somehow.
I'm just wondering how other startups start with that. Like that's my main concern.
Yeah.
I like the idea. It's exactly like real. Because those have to do the math. Like,
Yeah.
worth it because
Exactly.
I can build all of this in Web 2 and probably make 3 months nothing.
Yeah.
But
then it's also like stuck in the database. If the database dies, it's
but
Yeah.
then if this would be an next incentive too, like maybe they start more money eventually. People
Maybe.
start selling them, doing them, and
exactly.
we can have like a whole trading system and skip and kind of gold, but until we get there, that's a kid. Maybe kind of goes to 5,000, you can cut a lot, and you can go in medicine. Let's get them. Let's go ahead and find that.
Yeah, I also have what was it? So let's say let's do 5,000 NFTs times 0.00. Let's do 2. That's 16 Sol. But yeah, it depends on the price of Sol.
Fixed things all. It's not.
It's not cheap.
Right now, yeah.
But when you look at meta, if you look at metadata, they're a lot cheaper. But then obviously, CNFT may not even cheaper. So depending on what,
Yeah.
there may be a solution with CNFT to, in this case, where you make a big tree. It's like, because I think that tree was like what, close to the same price.
When you lose all.
But you do lose the functionality. So it's finding a way to shift the value to the customer. That's what I think probably what you've got to try to do somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Definitely the value will be shifted to the customer eventually, but that's, like when they book a room, we can have like cost of the room be part of meeting NFTs.
Yeah, exactly. At 20 cents.
Yeah, that's
So it's like
a big deal. You want it, pay like $5.
Yeah, I would not.
$5 would do.
Yeah.
We want to start seeing value there so that they get something out of it. They will keep, and keep going for it, but yeah, until we get there, this is the key.
Any other questions? Sorry, I'm like really ugly right now. You've got like, this an hour extra trade there. Cool. So I guess we're going to leave it there. If you guys have any other questions, do come find me. I'll happily chat to you guys one-on-one. It's my job here. I'm there for hours. So my job is to like onboard you guys as easy as possible, help you guys, and get you working Solana as simply as possible. Really. You're welcome to send my Telegram if you want it. From Jane down here. So like Telegrams that you just I got lucky. This is my name. Feel free to add me. We'll chat away. Any questions at any time? I work 24 hours a day. I'm one of those.
I can attest.
If it's 3 in the morning, I will probably reply. Let's build some shit. And it would be yes. Cool. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.